Hello again, and welcome to our video notes on commission. Okay, this is one of the last types of pay systems that we'll talk about. We've actually got one more to talk about after this, and it's related to commission. Okay, people who make commission are often trying to sell things, like a real estate agent or someone who works at, let's say, a furniture store or a car dealership. They make commission, and what a commission is it is an amount of money paid to the employee for selling a good or service, some product or some service. Okay, so basically this person is trying to sell you something. If they make the sale, they get a cut of that sale. Some of the profits go to the person who owns the business and the business itself. Some of the profit goes to the person themselves. So a straight commission, which is what we're going to be focusing on today, means that you are only paid, the only pay you receive is when you sell something. So this puts a lot of pressure on you to be a good salesman or saleswoman, because if you're only making money when you sell something, if you don't sell anything, guess what? You don't make any money. So it puts pressure on you to be a good salesman, or salesperson, I should say. The commission rate, because this is why we talked a lot about percents at the beginning of the year. Commission rate is very important. A commission rate is a specific amount of money or a percentage of the sale that goes to the salesperson. This is what we're going to focus on, percentage of the sale that goes to the salesperson. Okay? So, to calculate how much you make on commission, you take the total amount of sales and you multiply by the commission rate as a decimal. And I'll explain a little bit about what that means in just a second. So you take, to find commission, take how much the sales are and multiply by the commission rate, but we have to turn that commission rate into a decimal first. So first example, Milton Arps sells real estate at a 1.5% straight commission. Last week, his sales totaled $290,000. What was his commission? So we know that we're going to take the amount of sales, $290,000, and we're going to multiply that by the commission rate, 1.5%, but we have to change it to a decimal. Sometimes people have been getting tripped up if you have like a kind of a mixed fraction here, 1 and 1/2. Remember, that's just the same thing as 1.5. Okay, so this is 1.5%, but we need to get rid of that percent sign. If you remember at the beginning of the year, we talked about how to convert a percent to a decimal. All you have to do is you take this percentage, 1.5, and you divide by 100. So if I do 1.5 divided by 100, I get 0.015. That's the number I'm going to multiply by. So I take 0.015, I multiply by 290,000. This means that last week, Milton earned $4,350. Okay? If he had made less sales, he would have earned less. If he made 0 sales, he wouldn't have earned anything. If he made more sales, he would have earned more. That's how commission works. It's sort of like piecework, except that instead of getting paid for each item, you're getting paid based on how much you make as a total. Okay? And commissions, often you're selling very, very large, you're selling things that are very pricey. So when you work on commission, if you can make a lot of sales, you can really make a ton of money, but you have to keep up those sales in order to keep the money flowing in. Owen Thiel is guaranteed a minimum salary of $250 a week, or 7% of his total sales, depending on which is greater. What is his gross pay for a week in which his total sales were $3,614? So this is a little better than straight commission. This is saying even if you don't sell anything, we're still going to give you $250 a week. That's really not a lot, but we're still going to give you this. But if you make enough in sales so that the commission that you would make is greater than $250, then we're going to pay you that instead. So what we need to do is we need to figure out, he made $3,614 in sales. What's 7% of that? Because that would be his commission. So we take $3,614 and we multiply by, let's see, 7%. What is that written as a decimal? I have to do 7 divided by 100, 0.07. 7% of his total sales for the week would be $252.98. Now, is this greater than $250 a week? Yes, absolutely. So he's going to make his commission. He's going to make this much because this is greater than his $250 a week salary. Now, if he had sold a little bit less, he would just be, and this number was less than $250, he would still make his minimum $250 because in that case, that would end up being greater. So sometimes there's kind of like a safety net so that even if you have a bad week, you don't sell a lot, you still make some amount of money. All right, let's go to the back, do some more practice. Here's a similar problem. Ryan is paid either a commission or by the hour, whichever is greater. His hourly pay is $8 per hour with time and a half for all hours that exceed 40 hours a week. His commission is 7% of sales. 1 week, his sales totaled $6,120. Find his gross pay for this week during which he worked 48 hours. So let's do his hourly rate first, how much he would make if he's making an hourly wage. His hourly pay is $8 per hour for 40 hours. So that's $320 so far, but also time and a half for hours that, for hours that exceed 40 hours per week. So let me just label this as straight time pay. His overtime rate, 8 times 1.5 is $12. His overtime pay, if he made $12 per hour for overtime and you worked 48 hours, so that's 8 hours of overtime, means he made $96 in overtime pay. His gross pay is the straight time pay plus the overtime pay. So again, we're kind of reviewing some stuff that we did a long time ago. If he makes his gross pay, he's going to make $416, okay? That's only if this amount is greater than how much he makes on commission. His commission is 7% of his sales. Again, we have to convert this 7. That's going to be 0.07. 7 divided by 100 is 0.07. So we take his total sales, $6,120 times 0.07, and it's $428.40. Notice that even though I know it's 428.4, since I know we're talking about money, I add that extra 0 on at the end. So what is he going to end up making? Whichever is greater, his commission ends up being greater than his hourly pay. So that's what he's going to end up making. Okay, if he hadn't sold as much, this would be lower, and he would have ended up making $416 for the week. Okay, even though his commission was lower than that. Don't add together the gross pay and the commission. It says specifically whichever is greater in this case. We have some more similar problems with the following table. So the way that this works, this is just kind of the same question repeated a bunch of times. Here's the salesperson. Here's their minimum monthly salary. We have their total monthly sales listed multiplied by their commission rate. Actually, let's take these commission rates and change them into decimals right now. 8% is going to be 0.08. 6.5% is going to be 0.065. 9.25% is going to be 0.0925, and 3.5% is going to be 0.035. Okay? So we're going to use these commission rates and the total monthly sales for these salespeople to calculate their monthly commission. And then we're going to calculate their gross pay, and the gross pay is going to be whichever is greater, their minimum monthly salary or what their commission is. So let's do the first one. Ann Moser had $28,000 in sales. We're going to multiply that by her commission rate of 8%, 0.08, and her monthly commission for this month is $2,240. Now, is that greater than the minimum monthly salary? Yes, so that's what she gets paid, $2,240. Peter Zinn, he had $23,000 in total monthly sales. His commission rate is 6.5%, 0.065. His monthly commission, therefore, would be $1,495. But notice that's less than his minimum monthly salary. Because that's less than his minimum monthly salary, the minimum means it's the lowest he can make. So even though this is his monthly commission, he's still going to make $1,600, even though he didn't sell any, even though he didn't sell up to the preferred level. Now you might think, well, wait a sec, doesn't that just incentivize them to not sell as much? They still get paid $1,600. Well, true, but the boss or whoever their boss or owner is, they would see that they're not selling to their potential, and they would probably have some sort of discipline for them. And if Peter then sells a lot over the next month, he can make well over $1,600, and that's what he would want. Besides, this is a tiny amount to make per year. You really would want to be making a little bit more than this per year, $1,600. You wouldn't make that much if that's how much you're making per month. Let's go on to Vern Yoder. $31,000 in sales, multiplied by 0.0925 because the commission rate was 9.25%. He would be making $2,867.50, but that's less than his minimum monthly salary, so he's just going to get the minimum, $3,140. And last, Yvette Bersham, she makes $10,400 in sales times 0.035. Her monthly commission is very low, only $364, well below her minimum monthly salary. So she's going to end up making $850. Okay? So a lot of times with commission, sometimes it's just a straight commission where you don't have this safety net to catch you if you don't make as much in sales. Sometimes you do have a minimum monthly salary, and in that case, you have to compare whether your amount of sales is the same or greater than the minimum monthly salary. Okay? If it's greater, you make the commission. If it's not, you make the minimum monthly salary. I'll be back in the next video to talk about graduated commissions, which is our last topic in this unit.